Hello, everyone. We are giving a couple of minutes so that everyone can log in. So in the meantime, feel free to say hi in the chat box and let us know where are you logging in from. Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. And just before getting started, I would like to call out and let you know that feel free to say hi. It's in the webinar chat box. You would see it, you would find it at the bottom of your screen. It says chat. So feel free to say hi and let us know where are you logging in from. And we'll be getting started in a few seconds. Okay, so let's get started. And it seems like we are still getting some folks logging in, but we are on the top of the hour, so let's get started. Hello, everyone. Welcome again to this webinar. I am Maruti Mohanty. I'm logging in from Bhubaneswar, India. I've been with Automatic as an happiness engineer for a little over 3.5 years now. And along with me, I have my colleague, Bajjo sir, who is also from India, and he would be helping us with the questions. I will talk a little more about questions moving forward. So before we move forward with the webinar, a little housekeeping things like at the bottom of your screen, you would see a Q&A box like in here. It's in this square box. You would see it at the bottom of your screen, and you will also see a chat box. So we will use chat box for any usual chatter. Like it is always lovely to see folks logging in, saying hi, and we really encourage folks to let us know where are they logging in from, because it is always so good to see folks logging in from around the world. So feel free to say if you are logging from a particular city, country, and if not, that's totally fine. And then the chat box is usually for you communicating us about any technical issues. Like if you, for any reasons, if you cannot hear me or you cannot see the slide or the demo or anything, you can let us know there. But during this whole webinar, we would be taking questions. So you would also see a Q&A box, which is marked in here. So if you have any questions, please ask it in the Q&A box only, because this will help me and my colleague to filter the questions, pick up the appropriate questions and answer them. And we will be answering the questions. Some I will be answering it live, and some my colleague Baji would be answering it via text in the Q&A box. So with that, let's get started. So today's webinar is about compelling home pages, and we'll talk a little more about how to set up home pages, like why it is important, why it is considered the one, if not the most important part of your site, and how to create compelling home pages for your website. So we'll talk about that. And also we have a demo. So I'll demo it how to use the blogs and create a compelling home page for your site. So let's get started. So first of all, let's talk about what's the purpose of a home page, like the front page of a newspaper or for any site. We consider it's like an entry point to your important areas of your site. Like if your home page is about a certain thing, maybe it is an site for your blog, for your traveling blog, or let's say it's a medical purpose, it's a medical site. So the purpose is the home page is where you serve your purpose or you share your purpose to your site or to your users. So anybody who's logging in, jumping in, or coming to your home page understands what's the purpose of your site. So that's the entry point for your users. Next is this is homepage is a great way to showcase your brand. Like let's say you are I am more into sports, so I'll go into a sports analogy. Like if you are from this part of the country, cricket is a big sports in here. So if you are an academy, like a cricket academy or a sports academy, and you like folks to join you, then this homepage can be a great way to show your brand. Like what do you do, what services do you provide. This could be a window to your academy and what you do. So this is a great place to make that first impression who is visiting your site. So this is a great way to showcase your brand. Also, it can be a great way for you to encourage your users to explore and stay on the site. So basically, the homepage should be somewhere with like a window to your site, which allows you to look into what you provide, what services you provide, and if they are interested, they can click on and move forward to explore more about the content or the facilities or the services that you provide. Moving on, this is the homepage can be a great medium to allow your users to move towards the goal of your site. So we would be doing everything in demo. We would be talking about all this part. So let's go with what's the goal for your homepage. The homepage should be realistic and incremental. It shouldn't be something that is hard. It is more like it should be very realistic. It shouldn't be like you are hard selling something. It should be very organic. It should let the user. It should encourage the user to go through your site, go through your homepage. It should encourage your users to explore more and then visit the different parts of your sites to learn more about your homepage or about your site. Essentially, where do you want them to go next? So essentially, when do you want your users to go next? This homepage could be a great medium for them to for you to help them go in that path. So about an homepage, we basically have found out that always a great homepage has a primary goal. Also, below that, it has a secondary goal. It helps a user about the secondary goals. Every site has some certain goals they want to share with their users, and homepage is a great way to display that. So this is a great place where you can define your primary goals, what are your secondary goals, and you can also encourage them to visit visit your different sites, maybe your shop, maybe your services that you provide. If you are an academy, then this is a great place for you to help them see the services that you provide, see the different academies, the different sports that you support, different coaches that you have. If you have a star-studded team, if someone from your academy has gone past and make it at international level or national level, that's a great way to encourage your users to see that and let them know that these are the services that you provided, and that person has made it big to the big leagues. So that's a great way to do that as well. And if for example, like I said about academy, or you are a site which which deals with subscriptions, so this can also be a great way to encourage your users to do that, to invite them or to show them that you provide that as well. Or just if you are a blog page, you can help them out to follow your site so that they are always updated with the content that you provide. So without further ado, let's go with the demo. Let's talk about I'll have a demo here. So this whole webinar is about demoing how you can create you can create a compelling homepage. So this is the homepage that we are going to talk about. This this my homepage is about a Main Street camera. So I'm selling cameras, or I talk about cameras. So how you can just take it as an example, and you can do the same for your site. So we would be talking about what are the primary goals, what are the secondary goals, what are the other goals that I do, and how I encourage users to know more about my site, how I want to engage my users through my homepage, and then how we can get them to enroll to our services or subscribe to our site. So we'll talk all about it step by step in this demo. So for example, this is a camera site. So the primary goal is for me is to sell cameras in here. So I would do that as well. So if you would see this homepage, this is the primary part where I have an full screen image where I display the real goal, where the camera is the art. I'm talking about where I'm talking about my primary goal in here, which is selling cameras. And there is a text. This is where I talk about how you can sell cameras. And then if a user is interested, I have a button in here which they can click and go and see our camera. So if they want, they can go in here and check this different bars. So this is a go to button, or in the terminology we call to action. So in here, the primary goal is here to get the visitor to see our cameras for sale. So if I go to my home page, you would say the primary section is an full width image, which is a cover block. We will talk about this block in details, and I'll demo how to do that. It's talk about how we are selling cameras. We are encouraging our users to see the cameras we have. Moving on, the next or the secondary goals in here is to let our users sign up for a workshop or learn more about us. So that comes right underneath it. So this is a 3-column block which talks about the cameras that we have. We have linked to the camera page. Then we have details about the workshop, and then we also have a link or a column about us. So the primary goal in here was to tell them that we are a site where we sell cameras. So that is the primary goal. So this is more like the first fold of the page or the site. A great analogy would be like a newspaper. When if you have read or we have used or subscribed to a folded fresh newspaper, it comes with a fold. The first part of the fold is the primary goal of, or the catching news that the users see. So once they unfold it, they see the rest of the thing. So this is the first fold of your site. Whenever the site loads, this is the part where the user sees, and that's the place you would like to show your primary goal. So the secondary goal in here for us is to encourage our users to sign up for a workshop. Let them tell them more about us, like what do we do and all. So that's the about us page and the workshop page. There are other goals in our which we call the tertiary or the third goals, or other goals are to encourage our users or encourage the visitor to subscribe to updates. So this could be this is a great threefold goal for a home page, to get an gripped and engrossing home page, which would keep your users, which would help your users to learn more about your site. At the same time, it's not too busy, it's not a lot of information. It is the information is just the amount they want, which is easy for them to digest, easy for them to learn, give an insight about you. At the same time, this gives them an insight about what your site does, the primary goal, best about the secondary goal. And also, once you have that, below there we have a blog page, because this is a site we talk about cameras. We also have other information that we want to share our users, which are like the blog about studio, how to take photos, and all these are all dummy content. But then the other goal is also, if we can can get their attention and can have them subscribe, that would help us moving forward. So this is a great way to go through for the home page, great way to set goals. And I would like to repeat that the first fold of the site, the view that the user gets when the site loads, should be the section which speaks about the primary goal, and then the secondary goal, and then move forward with other goals, like telling them more about your site. The blogs comes in there, and then the subscription part, where we talk about, or where we add the subscription. So we would this is the hierarchy that we talk about in our homepage. And then just to go with, this is the tour, that this is how the homepage we have for the site. And we would go ahead and do a demo. But before doing that, let's talk about what makes an effective homepage for you. So the first part is, like I was talking about, above the fold. Just to summarize the analogy I was talking about, is like, if you have ever read a newspaper, it comes with a fold, and the front, or the first part, is called the above the fold. And that's the first visual that you have, like that's something is always catchy. If you come from different parts of the world, you would see the first is the headlines, or the breaking news, they call it these days. So that's the above the fold. That is the focused area where the audience or the user gets. So the first fold is the part where the user sees when the site load, should be the part or the section where is the primary goal. It should be eye-catching, it should be visual, it should be compelling enough for the user to stay. So that's a great place for you to set your primary goal, to make your user understand that. Okay, just a bit. Seems like there is a little. Looks like, okay, sorry about that. There was a little technical thing. I guess it's done now. Okay, so I was saying about the first primary goal should be eye-catching, visual. It should be appealing to your user. It should get the attention that it needs, and it should speak about the primary goal of your site. So if this is an area of interest for them, they should feel like checking out the rest of the homepage and learn more about your site. It should be brief, easy to read, and definitely an uncrowded layout. Like in this homepage, you would see the primary goal in here is for me to tell my user that this is about cameras. So Main Street camera, I just said that where the camera is the art and baseline for my site. I tell them about I just given a go-to button or a call to action button where they can see our camera. So this is my primary goal, where I talk about cameras. And it is definitely not crowded. It's just easy to read, and speaks volume about my primary goal. Okay. Then it should the homepage should definitely guide the visitor to necessary informations, like once the users comes in here, they can go through. Once they understand what's the primary goal, they go through the rest of the secondary goals, which is about the camera, the other services that we provide, like the workshop, and if you have video tutorials, you can link those up. As we are a team, we just want the users to learn about us as well, so about us could be a great fit in here. If you are, like I've been talking about academies, so if you have a star-studded coaching staff, you can hint them about that we have so and so as our coaching staff. We provide free workshops, we provide we or you can give a star player that has come out from the academy. So this could be a great way to advertise yourself and let them know that the services that you provide. So uh, moving forward, okay, moving forward, let's do about let's do this section. Let's jump into the demo and let's talk about how to build this primary section. And in the meantime, just wanted to let you know that if you have any questions, please ask it in the Q&A box. And if it is related to the demo or the topic I'm talking about, I'll pick the questions right away. Or if there are other questions, my colleague would be more than happy to help you there. So if you have any questions during the demo, during the discussion, or during the webinar, or even after, feel free to ask it in the Q&A box, because once this demo is done, there is a session where we pick up the questions and we answer that. So we'll do that as well. So just wanted to let you know about that. Okay. So the next part in here is to talk about the primary section, or the primary call to action section. This is the section. So just to tell you, it has a cover block, it has a heading block, it has a paragraph block, and it has a button. So we'll talk all about, I'll demo how we can do that. So if we go with, this is the cover block, it has an heading block, it has camera, it has a button, and we'll do all that. So let's jump into that. To do that, you would go to your a page, which is to your WordPress.com site, and then pages. And just that you know, this all this is for WordPress.com site. So all the blogs that you see in here are definitely in here. But at the same time, if you are on any other hosting provider with using WordPress, you would definitely see all these blogs. There is one blog in this demo which will not be available for you in a self-hosted site, but when I get to there, I'll let you know that this is the block I was talking about, and I'll also talk about an alternative that you can use for that. So all these 4 blogs should be available, irrespective if I'm sorry, someone says they're not hearing anything. Is that correct? Is that right for everyone, or do you hear me fine? Can I just get a few? Okay, thanks, Ellen. So we are talking about, okay, okay, we were talking about the primary call to action section. So let's jump into that first. So the thing is, you would go to your website, you would go to pages, add new, and for this example, let's add a new page, and we'll talk about how to add these blocks and create the section that you want. So when you create a new page, this is going to take some time to load, because this is heavy. We are doing Zoom calls. At the same time, we are also on a live YouTube stream. So this is going to take a while to load. And thanks. And I see a couple of folks letting me know that you can hear me. So thanks so much. Okay, so when you create a new page, when you add a new page, what happens is, like, you see this template. So just that you know, if you are new to WordPress and you want to create a template, it's easy for you to click on one of them and then edit the content, and voila, you get a page. So what you can do is, like, if you are new to it, because a lot of users just want to create a site or create a certain page using the template and then changing the content and getting it. So you can do that. But for this example, we would go with a blank page. And just that you know, here are few of the features that you can use from. Like, if you want to create an about page, just click on that about, and you will get the templates. If you just hover on it, you would see it scrolling up. So let's see, if you like an home page. So if I select this one, so this is the home page I'm going to get. So I'll get this content added to my page. I can edit it the way I want. I would already have an template, or I will already have a layout to work with. So that would be a great way to start if you want to. So feel free to, if you are creating a page, or if you want to create a page and you do not have I would say, an idea to get started, this could be a great place to do that. So, but for this example, we are going to get with the blank page. So it's there. Okay, I'll just move around some zoom things. So okay. Now this is the place where you add your homepage title. Let's say demo homepage, and okay. So basically, this part, I'll tell you a little bit about the editor that I have. This is the list view where you can see all the list of blogs that we are adding. So once we add it here, it would get populated. You can just click it so that it goes away. This is your sidebar. This is the page details. It has visibility, publish, template that we use. And if I just click on, I can see that this is the default template you are using. But at the same time, if you have noticed, it doesn't give the title. So if I just preview it, if I just save it after adding the title, and just type, I'd say, let's preview in the new tab, I'll see this demo title in here. Most of the time, more often, if we do not need a title for the home page, because when somebody is coming in, it's very evident that they are on the home page. So how we can do that is, like, if I go to the template, select the template that I have, I go page without title, and then save the draft, and I'll have this preview phase always open, so that I'll show you how it looks in the front end as well. So that most of the time the content that you see in editor would be the same, but I'll go a step forward and see you as we go forward with the steps. So moving on, I just use the page without title template. Now if I go to the home page, I just click on, it's just the header and the footer, and the content has no page title. So this is the first step of how we are going to do, build that demo homepage. So next is a predefined, let's say, the layout. This is an empty page that we started with. So let's start with an cover block. So like, if you have remembered, we talked about, we are adding a cover block, heading block, paragraph block, and button. So we are going to do that now. So in here, before we get started with it, there are 3 ways you can add a block. So you can use this plus button at the top left. There is this plus button that you can add, or if you are used to, once you get used to WordPress.com or WordPress you're using, you can just use your / and then type in the block. So you would see me using all these 3, and I'll do it while adding the block, so that you understand how to do that. So first one is, let's do with this. So choose a cover block. You could see the highlights in there, the recommended one, or one which you have used the most. Or if I just click, if I know it's a cover block, I'll just type in here, and then I select it. So this is the cover block. Now the part is adding the image. So I'll go ahead and select in media. So there are different ways you can add media to your site. So one way is selecting it from your media gallery. If you have Google Photos that you want to add, you can choose it from your Google Photos. And there are pixel-free photos that is provided by WordPress.com and OpenVerse. So this from here you can download images, and you do not have, these are all copyright free, so you do not have to worry about copyrights. But it is always great to give a caption giving the reference to the user or the photos you are using from the person. But there is no compulsion in doing that. But all these are no copyright images, so these are copyright free, so you can always use this for the easygoing for this webinar. I have already added it in my site, so I have added it in my media library. I'll just go in there, and just that all these are from pixel free photos I've already downloaded for this demo. So I'll go ahead with that. So let's select the image. You can click in insert to insert it here. You'd see that this image is not full width like the one we have here. So how you can do that is, this is the toolbars that you get for your block. So once you have selected, you would see options in here on the right as well. So we'll go to that as well. So this is the alignment. So you can use wide or you can use full width. And for some reason, what's happening is there is a recent bug which doesn't explain that it doesn't display the full width, but it's already happened. So how we can check that is, this is just an issue with this block. So if I just saved it, and if I go in there and if I click, you would see this is already picking up the full width. So just for that bug, it's not appearing full width in here. But yeah, once that bug is fixed, when you use it and when you use it as full width, you will see it in the block editor as well. Okay, moving on, just to match, we would do an overlay. The overlay is white. So we are doing this so that we make whatever content or whatever text we add is more readable, more visible, and more appealing on our home page primary goal section. Let's do that. And while talking about the image, okay, let's okay, when I talk about this image, okay, opacity, okay, I have added the cover. And okay, now in here, if you go to the media settings, you can see the focal length. So if you want, you can turn around in here, you can select what would be the focal point, just because if you want it to be the prime in middle of the camera, so you can set the focal point, whatever. If you have a set an image, and had there been no bug, you would see it's completely full width, and you would be able to play with the focal point. For this example, we are going to add a fixed background. And why is that? Is because if you see it in the front end, you'd see this parallax effect. You can see the it feels like the image stays and we are scrolling up, right? So for this effect to be added, we would want this image to be fixed background. So this gives you that parallax effect. So let's save that, go to the demo page and click. So now we can see that we have added the overlay, we have added that parallax effect, and now moving on, we will add the content now. So time to add the title, and how you can do that is you can add a title right in here. By default, when you click, by default, the default block added is paragraph, but if you want, you can just add a paragraph, say this, and you can do it. But in here, we would add a title. So it should be, let's say, and the content for this example, I'll just have my content added. So you do not see me typing, or you do not see me. Okay. I'll just copy it. I'll just copy the content. so that, okay. Okay, this is the camera. I've added it, and then let's say you can see what are the different settings that you can see is you can select the text, you can background, you can do the typography. So let's select the size, like let's say in Excel, or if you want to add a particular pixel, then you can click on here, and let's say I want to add it to be 90 pixel. You can do that. If you want to change the fonts, okay, yeah, whenever you go away, you just have to click on the block and the block settings, then you can see all the options. So there, and if I go to typography, okay, just a sec. I'll just save the draft. I go in here, I'll just check. Yes, it's working. And what you can see is it is on the left of the screen. So we would like to make it middle aligned. So how you can do that is go in there, select it. It's left align, just center align it, save the draft. If you go in there and you can see that's already in there. So now what we have to do is choose the font. The size looks good, the font. So for this, we can go to font family, and you can select EB Garamond, and then just save the draft. So yep, this is one step closer. So if I check it with the home page, it looks good. The cover block is added, the image is added, the overlay is added, so is the title. Now I have to add this paragraph and the button. So let's do that. So if I want to add, and so I was talking about the list view, right? So if I want to add something below that, there are a couple of ways to do that. Like I can just hit enter, and it takes you to the next block. And by default, like I said, it would be a paragraph block. So let's add a paragraph. I'll just copy it. Okay. I'll just copy it and add it. And let's say just for alignment, it looks aligned, but it's always great because for the consistency, I would keep it center aligned, and then the rest is a button. So you can either just click enter, it takes you to the next one, or if you want, you can click on these three dots and just say insert after. So it will take your control to the next block. So now we have to add buttons. So I'll just click on buttons. So this is one way of adding, or you can just say button. I want to add a button in here, and the text in here is see your cameras, see our camera, and let's make it center aligned. And because I want to link it. So if you want to link a button or a paragraph, just be on that block, click on this link button. And if you already have a page, you can just search it. So this would link to my cameras page. So now this is linked. If you want it to open in a new tab, you just click in here, done, it's linked. Okay, so now if I just save the draft, and let's say this is the draft, and I click, the first part of the section is done. So this is how you do the first part. The first section is done. Now move on to the next one. The next one is secondary call to action section, where if you would see, there are 3 columns, images, and there are links. So let's get to that, and let's create that second section. So if I go in there, because I'm already in the block, I'll just can click in here and insert after, and it gives me the second section. So okay, for the second section, if you see, there is some space in between, and if I go there, there isn't the space. So how you can do that is by adding a spacer block. So to do that, I'll add a spacer block, and I'll set it to, let's say, 50. But if you are not able to drag and drop, you can always go in there, click here, and it can set it to 50. That's okay. Okay, spatial, and you can set it to 50. So this is done. So and you would see that this keeps auto saving it. So if you do not have to worry about anything being lost, because the browser or the editor keeps auto saving it. But if at some point you want to save it, you can just click on save draft, always go to your home page, to the page we are creating, and just click on, and the space is already added and we don't see it. That's totally fine. So now we are creating this 3 section. So the first section in here is a column block. So let's add that. And to add that, we are going to use this plus button this time. So click to add column block. You can add columns, and as this is a 3 column block, we will choose 3 column block. And if you would see, it has a wider range or wide width. So to do that, I'll select the parent column, and you have option to set the width now. So I can do a wide width, and I can see that it's the 3 blocks are wide enough. So you can do it for each, but if you would do the parent column block, it adds width to all the 3 columns that I have added. So you can do that now. Now the part is adding all this section, each column. So it would see it is an image block, it has a heading, it has paragraphs, and it has link. So let's do that. So first one in here is, let's add an image block. And to find that, you can either search in here. So it's an image block, select an image. I'll just see, this is the image in here. I'll go to this is the image that I want to add. I'll click insert and insert the image in there. And next is my heading, then a paragraph, and then the link. So the next would be, I'll just click in insert after that. The next one is a heading that says camera. So I'll in this part, I'll go with the / heading. And let's say, okay, let's say shop our cameras, and it seems used, so we'll just change it to H3 so that it looks a lot better in here. So that's done. And now, okay, now the text and the link. So the text in here is, so like I said, if I just click in here, okay, let me copy that line. Okay, so in here, just add that, and it's done. Okay, so that's done. Now the point is, we have to add a text and a link to it, and that would be shop our cameras, right? So just move to the next line, hit an enter, shop our cameras, and what you can do is, like, if you select the whole post and then click on the link button, it allows you to add a link. So I'll just click, I'll try and find an image, find a link. If you are adding a custom link, that's totally fine, you can add it there, but I'm adding the link to camera. I'll do that. And just to make it visible, what I'm going to do is I'm to select it, and I'll select it. Okay, and I'll make it bold. Okay. It isn't allowing me, so what I can do is I can show you how to do that once in a while. Just bold, link it, and camera, and there you go. So this is the first section. So I'll just save the draft and I'll show you how it looks in the front end. So I'll just refresh it, and this is software cameras. It just says cameras, so I'll just link that. I'll edit it. I'll say it's just cameras. I'll just press it, and you can see that it does the trick. It is the first. Now for the second and third section, you can repeat the same. So what I'm going to do is I'll just try and copy this too, and I'll show you some magic. So I'll just do there. I'll go for a paragraph block and I'll just copy paste it. It did work, right? Yes, it did. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this part, and I'll just click in here, let's say paragraph, and I copy paste it. It did the trick. Similarly, I'm doing this because all these three sections are the same steps, that you add an image, and you add an image, then you add a heading, then you add a paragraph, then you add a link. So I'm doing the same thing in here for the first one, and then I copy pasting. So if you have, this is a great way to learn that you can copy content from one part and you can add it in your editor, and it is that easy to do. So now you can see that I have created the second section of the blog as well. So you can repeat the same thing. And if I would just go to my demo page and I'll just refresh, that I already have my call to action second section. So let's get back in here and move on to the recent blog post. So if you would see, this is the recent blog section. So we would try and create that now. Okay, so now moving on to the next one. So this list view is something I really find very useful. So if for example, if you are editing something and you're not sure how to go in there, you can always click on this list view, and then you can go ahead and see. If I'm going to check the middle one, I'll just check this one, and I can see that this I'm on the works of paragraph link. So this is how you can do it. So list view is very useful, so make use of it the most you can. And moving on, let's do the recent blog post now. We would add a spacer here as well, just to add this space in between. So I'll go in there, I'll click on the three dots, and let's say add insert after spacer. It's a spacer. For consistency, let's add 50 pixels again, and that's done. And moving on, next is header block, which says, that's an heading block. So like you were saying, like if you use something, so you would, if you click on, you would see the recent one in here. So I have used paragraph, I have used heading, I have used picture, I have used image, so it would pop in there. So that's an easy way to select that from. You do not have to type, or you do not have to search. So I'll just click in header. I'll just set it to H3 because I want a smaller heading, and it would say from the blog. And let's center align it just for the consistency so that it appears centrally aligned. Moving on, now would add the blog post block. So if we search blog post block, you can do it from there, or you just click in this plus and then blog post block. It's the same thing. You can add it in 3 ways. So do you remember I said about one block that is not available for self-hosted sites? And this is the block that I was talking about. This is very specific and only available for WordPress.com user. But if you are on a different hosting provider and you do not find this block, an alternative would be, I would say, query post. You can try that and you can create such an section for yourself. So let's do with this one. You would see at the moment the default is image on the top and text or the content after that. So just to make this, what you're going to do is we'll select where show media on the left. So no, sorry, this left and list view. So this is the part. Now the thing is we want it to be wide, so I'll go with full width, or rather I would go with wide width. So this is how it should be. The block is set to wide width with images on the left. And then for this blog post block, there is a lot of settings. So let's go through that. You can choose the specific topic. So if you are creating a section where you want to add only specific posts to that block, you can choose it from there. You can set the number of items in here. You can choose the author's post, the particular post from the author that you want to display. You can select categories of posts that you want to display. You want tags or the list of tags of the post that you want to display. You can do that, all the settings in here. So we would leave those blank because and also just that you know, this blog post block would only work if you have posts in your site. So if you use that block and suddenly you do not see any content, it would be an indication to go check your posts. You should have post in there. So I have some post in here. So when I use that blog post block, I see that there. So I'll go ahead and I'll turn on, let's say, hide author meta. We can always hide that. You can display or not display featured images. Let's keep doing that. Let's say turn on read more links, so it would keep reading. So if your user is going through this blog, they see an excerpt of the content, but if they want to read the whole post, they can click on here and then go to the direct post and read it from there. So if you want, you can display a date. I'll just hide author. You would see I'm just matching up this. So feel free to do whatever works for you, but I'm just matching in here so that we get the complete demo page the way we wanted. So this is how you can now set the home page. I'll just save the draft. I'll go to the demo page or the page we are creating. I'll just check the preview, and there we are almost done. Now we are up to the last section. So we have added the spacer block, we have used the heading block to add the heading, and now we have added the blog post. So moving on, the last section of the home page is our subscribe section. So if you go in there, you would see there is a subscribe section in here. So let's jump in and get that done. So moving on, this is the page. We have the content. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a special block again, just to keep the consistency there, which was set for, let's say, 50. So if you would see that you do not have to squeeze in here or use your mouse to do it. You can go to settings and do that. Earlier, I remember I added the margin, which isn't the one I wanted to share. It is the settings, and then you can head so if you want 800, you can do that from here, or if you want to set the height to 50, you can do that from here. So there, or you can just use your mouse to squeeze in a bit of space. Okay, now heading, let's add an heading block. So what you can do is click on, after, let's do a heading block. Let's say do not, no, it's don't miss out, and to match it, and it would be an H3, don't miss out. Then the paragraph, and always I'll try and make sure that this is aligned center. Though it seems like centered, it moves a little, but just to keep the consistency, we'll do that. Then moving on, we'd add a new paragraph that says subscribe now to get all your health food tips. And though it looks centered, but it isn't, you would see it moves a little left. So I'll make sure to make it center aligned. Now the main part is like adding that subscribe. So how we can do that is we have a subscribe block that you can use too. So if you just click on, you'd see these are the default settings, and what it does is, like, whenever someone adds their email and address in there, they subscribe to your site or blog. So whenever you publish a new post, they get a notification that a new post has been published. They can check it from their email, or can click in here and go back to your site. So this is a great way to engage a user about your content and let them come back to your site. So this is always a great way. So now this looks good, but at the same, it doesn't look great and together. So what we are going to do is we'll do, I've been talking a lot about this sidebar and all, right? So what you can do is we will just select all these three, and what we can do is we will group it. So this is how you can group it, because I want to add a background. I want to add this gray background in here, but you can do it individually. But if I add it to a group, because there are certain blogs that do not allow you to add backgrounds, but if you group it, you can add a background to this group. So now I have done that. I'll just, let's say I would make it wide width, and now I would go to the background. I'll set it light gray, and let's save this and go in here, refresh it, and voila, we are done with the page we want. And now what we can do is, now that we have done, it seems like I have previewed it, it looks the same, I'll just publish it. So I'll go ahead and publish that page, and then copy the link. I'll just go ahead and add it here. So now you can see this demo page. It's the demo homepage. In the URL, you can see we have created the exact same demo that I displayed initially in here. So you can see this is my home page, and this is the new page that we created that is identical, which has the primary goal, which has the secondary goal section, call to actions, we have the blogs, and then we also have the subscribe section. So this is what we created. With that, we end the demo, but let's talk about the effective home pages. Let's reiterate what we have done so far. So use the above the fold thing. So you should always understand that whenever an users comes to your site, they see the first section. So this is the part which loads. So if I would just go in here and I refresh the page, you'd see this is the section that loads for me. So this is the above the fold part that I'm talking about. Let's the topic of the review is, let's make it eye-catching, let's make it visually appealing. It should be easy to read, it shouldn't be crowded, and it should encourage your user to take action. So like I am in here, I'm encouraging my user to see our cameras, because that is the prime objective here, to sell more cameras to our users. So with that, thank you so much for joining us. This is the end of the demo, and we would definitely take questions, but it seems like my colleague Vaji has taken care of all the questions. But if you have any questions, please ask them, and we would do that right away. We are top of the hour, but I'm happy to spend a couple of minutes more to help answer any of the questions. And before that, before we leave, I would like to talk about some of the services that we provide as well. So about webinars, like we do a lot of webinars. So if you want to go, if you can go to WordPress.com /webinar. I'll just okay, I'm sharing that in the chat box so that you see it. So if you go to WordPress.com webinars, you can see all the webinars that we do. We are always keep on adding more webinars. So this is the compelling homepage webinars that's happening 19th. It's happening again on 24th, 25, and feel free to join any of the webinars that works for you. And if you are from a different time zone and you want to understand what's 4 p.m. UTC at your time for 24 January, just click on this link and it will take you, and it explains that at my time 4 p.m. UTC is 9:30 p.m. So that might not work for me or might work for you. Then I would look into something else, like let's say in 10 a.m. UTC, and that is like 3:30 p.m. and that's definitely works for me. So that is how you can use this, convert to your time zone, and see the one that works for you and register for it. All these webinars are free, so feel free to join it as many times as you want, or as number of webinars. I would highly encourage you to join all the webinars so that you can learn more about how to use your WordPress.com site. So great webinar is on. We also talk about custom blog pages, how to do that. And we have introduced a new webinar, which is site editor versus page editor. So if you want to learn more, feel free to do that. Then we also have online courses, which you can find at wpcourses.com. So if I'll share that link in. Okay, I've shared that link in the chat box. So this is all free courses. We have 4 courses at the time. If you're getting started, or your intro to blogging, intro to podcasting, and SEO, one of the most hyped topic that people come about asking about SEO or how to get started. So all these are free courses. These are self-paced courses. So take them if you want, and you can do it at your own time or at your own pace. And feel free to check this out. And if you have any questions, please ask it in the Q&A box, and we'll be more than happy to help. And last but not the least, we also provide services. And for any reason, if you do not have the time or the time or expertise to create an WordPress.com site, we are happy to help you with that. So we have a program called built by WP. So there's the link that my colleague has shared. It's built by WP.com. So feel free to check that out. So I'll just talk a little about it. So what you can do is, like, you can go to the site, and if you are interested, if you want to contact us to get help to create your site, you can click on get started, and then can fill this form. This has details: your name, your email ID, your contact number, what are the budget that you have thought about that project, what are your requirements. So you can add in all in here, so that someone from the team can contact you and discuss more about you. And if everything works out, you will have an expert, WordPress.com expert, build the site for you. So feel free to use this service as well. And with that, this is the last part. If you have any questions, we are more than happy to help. But it seems like we have answered all the questions. I do not see any question further, but just that you know, you can always go to our our YouTube channel and rewatch the webinars if you would like to. So that's there. And with that, I would like to conclude this webinar, and thank you so much for joining us today. And feel free to join this webinar again. You would always have a different host. You will always have a different way of looking at things, different way of demoing things. So you will always learn something new. There are different topics that you can learn from. So feel free to check those out as well. So with that, we have come to an end to this webinar, and thank you so much for joining us today. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll take your leave. Thank you so much. Bye.